So guys, finally the Nigerian governors bow to pressure, accept Tinubu's tax reform.
Starting here in Nigeria, as Nigerian governors have thrown their weight behind the federal government's tax reform bills.
We know that some of our governors, especially those of them from the north, kicked against this tax reform bill vigorously. I mean, they came out to say it's not going to happen because they felt, especially those of them from the north, that it's anti-north. Even some southerners have expressed concern over that tax reform bill because guess what? It's going to make so many people who are not paying tax to start paying tax. Even those who are online. I mean, this tax is for everybody.
However, they are proposing a new sharing formula for value-added tax. The decision followed a meeting of the Nigerian Governors Forum and the Presidential Tax Reform Committee, which was held yesterday. In a communiqué at the end of the meeting, the Governors Forum reiterated its strong support for comprehensive reform of Nigeria's archaic tax laws. Members acknowledged the importance of modernizing the tax system to enhance fiscal stability and align with global best practices.
Some people said the government would have focused in helping businesses to start thriving before they go to collect these taxes, because so many businesses are struggling at the moment because of the subsidy removal. Then you coming to, bring this tax bill, it's going to worsen the situation of some of the businesses that are already struggling to survive.
The governors, of course, proposed a revised VAT sharing formula, which they said would ensure equitable distribution of resources. And here is how Nigerian people are reacting. The first tweet there reads, "I am glad this tax reform has been approved. This will be well received by those with low pay. Imagine not seeing that 8K or 9K monthly leaving your account. It will truly help." The next tweet there reads, "The governor's proposal is a clear indication that they are not ready to improve on derivation with no plans to increase productivity. Any governor who envisages increase in productivity from his state would be against sharing his derivation with lazy, unproductive states." Our last tweet there reads, "This is a thoughtful and balanced approach by the Nigerian Governors Forum, prioritizing equitable resource distribution, economic stability, and the welfare of citizens. A step in the right direction for sustainable growth. May Nigeria be great." And finally, the tweet there reads, "That's a good consensus. Nigerians are learning how to agree, to disagree, to agree." Now, ladies, of course, I watched you on this morning talking about this, and it's trending because it's something that had been dragging out for a long time. A lot of people are looking at it and why are the northern governors opposed to it? And now with this new sharing formula, the simulation that is out there now is that the most likelihood is that Lagos and Rivers would be losing, so to speak. But then again, it's in the national interest, and then we're seeing the remaining 34 states would be having, more, especially from the derivation tax. I know you've touched on it, but I'd like to still hear your thoughts this morning.
Okay, so let me take another angle since we spoke about this earlier today. I think the last tweet, of course, one of the things that had been criticized is the governor's unwillingness with regards to the sharing formula. What the federal government had proposed through this bill had been equality at 20%, derivation at 60%, and population at 20%. What they're asking for with this new proposal is equality 50%, derivation at 30%, and population back to 20%. What had been seen, and I love that tweet that said that it was an opportunity for us to begin to hold the governors to task, to actually be creative in making their states productive. That's what that previous sharing formula would have done. But I do agree with one of the senators who was there, Senator Natasha Apoti, who had said that especially the northern governors were ill-prepared. Yes, they were ill-prepared, and I think it was Governor Sule who said that they were not lucky enough to have enjoyed, to be prepared. I said, it's not luck that makes a state productive. It is the thinking and the action by the governors who are the CEOs that translate to productivity, which some of the states are already enjoying because their states are thinking and they are productive. So I think that, yes, we might move forward with this, but I hope that it gives an opportunity for them to rethink and see how they can begin to do the work for which they are elected for and to which they receive a salary, which is to actually make their states productive. But we cannot emphasize enough the benefits of the tax reform bills transmitted from the executive to the National Assembly, and hopefully this would pass. Finally, I'll just say this. This is coming after the fact. Recall that if this had happened during the consultation stage, as proposed or as wanted by Mr. Taiwo Edele, the chairman of that committee, we wouldn't have waited this long or had that back and forth. The governors would have done what they were supposed to have done during consultation stage and brought out their own recommendations without having to wait for all this to happen and them asking for a withdrawal. So again, holding them to task. Let them do what the people have elected them to do.
Absolutely. Well, some of the arguments, there's so many ways to unpack, and gosh, we've heard so many different perspectives on this issue. Now, when you look at some of the dissent towards the new sharing formula and those who are feeling that there's some states who are already in a position of competitive advantage and it makes it unfair for other states. I know one of the arguments that's on the ground is the fact that, well, listen, Lagos used to be the capital of Nigeria. Lagos, because of that, benefited from immense investment from the national budget because it was the capital. And then that infrastructure still exists, even though the capital was then moved to Abuja. That, shall I say, legacy infrastructure still exists. And some people say that, well, not many other regions got to benefit from such an investment. So some are arguing and they're saying that, okay, fine, well, can we also get the same type of investment that one gave to a Lagos state to develop to become a capital so that there can be some sort of even playing field? Well, that's a debate. It's subject to people coming and unpacking that and looking at the realities of it. Another one of the arguments, of course, is the case of the port. And those saying that, well, we are inland, and the port has, again, a competitive advantage with regards to economic activity. So I personally feel that this debate around the tax reform bill highlighted the fact that as a nation, it's time for a national dialogue. There are a lot of issues that various groups are carrying. There's a lot of animosity. There's a lot of unresolved tension. And I really, really think a national dialogue is sort of the same way there's supposed to be a youth confab. There needs to be a national dialogue that's open to all and where all can participate so that let's express all these things that we're all harboring so that we can now come together and come up with a national agenda and say, okay, these are the real things that each region or state feel is holding them back in progress, because many regions and states, this is highlighted, many regions and states feel aggrieved and feel marginalized, and we can't move forward for as long as there are people who feel that they're being marginalized in their own country.
VAT, in a bigger issue, is a form of tax that is very relevant because it enables you, a lot of people who are not in the tax net, who are not paying their other corporate or personal taxes, will somehow go and buy things.
Right.
They must buy things, whether it's electronics or other things. So in that way, you must capture them in their spending or come into the tax net. So VAT is very important revenue for the country. And so the issue has been, how do we share that revenue?
Right.
And you thought about it in your rundown. Initially, or the current situation was that all the money is brought into the basket from the whole country, and then on that basis, 20% is shared on the basis of derivation. Derivation means where the revenue came from.
Yeah.
How much did each state VAT come from Imo State, how much VAT came from Lagos State, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So if the total VAT in that basket is 100 naira, so they will take 20 naira out for on the derivation and share it among the states. Okay, on the basis of how much each state contributed.
Yeah.
And they will take 50% and share equally. So 50 naira will be shared, divided 36 states or plus FCT divided by 36 or 37, and then of course they're all based on population. That's what exists now. Now our smart president came in and said, see, we must reward diligence.
Right.
We must reward states who are entrepreneur, who are helping companies that produce VAT, to profit from it.
Yeah.
And so I want to change the formula to 60% derivation to encourage states to go back and encourage the create the enabling environment for companies to thrive in their communities or their states, so that VAT in their states, regions or states will grow.
Right.
And that was the sense of that. But and you and me know that what I'm talking about in this program regularly, there are a lot of the states, sadly, will say it, commit consumption centers.
Right.
You can see that from the fact that for some states, remember what I said by, I said the total revenue of a state is 100 naira. Some of it must come from FAC, some of it come from internal generated revenue.
Yeah.
For some states, the IGR, internal generated revenue, is barely 10% of the total revenue. That means little or nothing happens in those states.
Yeah.
And those are the states that go there to go and, and fight. Instead of going back to go and sort themselves out.
Yeah.
And that. So, those are the people who are very eloquent and very prominent about defending this and using everything on the table. Nationally this, that, want to short change this and, but they got their way. And so the final thing now is derivation. Remember the three sharing criteria.
Yeah.
Derivation, equality, and population.
Yeah.
So they left derivation at 50% as it is now. Equality, Sorry, equality at 50% as it is now. The revision was 20 before. They just took 10% from the population and put in there.
Yeah.
You know, little competition for those who are regulating the money.
Yeah.
You know, so that's basically what they're saying. And of course, they said again that we can increase VAT. Good for the citizens.
Yeah.
Because the plan was this year to 10, and the next year to 12.5, and then up to 15% to align with the other African countries. And of course, they said corporate tax also should not be reduced. But the objective, government said, let's increase VAT and reduce corporate tax to incentivize companies. You know, but you know, a lot of states are that. So I say it again that you know they're going their way. The issue again is that my governor, Chief Uzodimma, the Senator Uzodimma, said acknowledge Governor Sule Nasarawa acknowledge that the states have been flush of money arising from the twin effects of the exchange rate devaluation and the removal of subsidy.
Yeah, so FAC has gone up.
And FAC has gone up.
Yeah.
But have we seen any change
in
the life of citizens?
That's the question.
A lot of people are still owed
salaries. Yep.
Pensioners are still being owed. A lot of the roads are still debt traps. Hospitals are still consulting clinics. And you know, and what we see now is some governors are living this thing big. The convoys have already increased and so on and so forth. But they should go back and actually think about legacies. And that, you know, knowing that if you improve the living conditions and the quality of life in your states, you know, businesses will thrive. Your IGR will improve. Even the VAT from your state will improve. You know, look at Aba, for example. Aba used to be a commercial center for the East there. There are a lot of inter-country trade from West African coast. A lot of people come and know this come from Togo, Cameroon, all those come to that. At the time, they couldn't come because the roads were no more travel.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, and we talked and spoke and everything. But when this current governor came in there, and he just focused on Aba, that's all the things that are happening now. You know, so governors, congratulations that you have gotten your way, but the issue is let this increase earnings reflect in the life of citizens of our country. We're not seeing them yet.
Awesome.
CBN.
Yes, I know your favorite topic.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be celebrating this really, because CBN is supposed to be because what I'm pushing at now, it's already been done in most of the banks in Nigeria.
Right, okay.
You know, most of the banks in Nigeria, nobody moves physical vouchers and documents these days. You know, things are moved electronically and move from table to your laptop to your system to your system. People approve and decisions and things are moved faster. You know, but we're happy that they finally come on board with a new governor and they're pushing those narratives. I'm happy they're doing that. For the MDAs, they say the objective is, I'm surprised that CBN is still working on how to make them withdraw cash faster. You know, withdraw cash faster. That one of the objectives of that program. I'm surprised because these days, you know, we thought that they were moving towards cashless banking, being pushed by CBN. Then how are you designing a program that will make the MDS withdraw cash faster? Can't the MDS move towards digitalization and making payments online instead of carrying all the cash they're carrying? You know that. You know, so for me, that's what it is there. But it's commendable. It's going to make decisions faster, reduce the cost of operation, reduce errors for them, and so on and so forth. It is come with that.
Just one last question. So, I mean, technology and reducing corruption and improving efficiency. That is still the
overarching. So once you have technology, you reduce the number of human intervention, and which is good. You know, so things can flow faster. And then, you know, they're more predictable. Human interventions are limited. You know, so that's that. And CBN becomes tidier in decision making and faster decision making. You know,
All right, business analyst Chika, thank you so much for keeping us up to date on breaking these things down. So I appreciate your time.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. The question we are asking is if the government itself, I mean the government officials, are they willing to also pay their own taxes, like those of them from the National Assembly? Will they be paying their own taxes? Are they ready to cut down costs? I mean the cost of governance, the cost of, you know, their convoys and all that, the people working with them, are they ready to reduce costs? If these people really want to help Nigeria, the first thing the Tinubu's government would have done is to fight vigorously against corruption in this country. We've not seen that. Tinubu cannot fight corruption. Yes, we know that. And again, reduction of the cost of governance. Everybody have been, you know, emphasizing on this. Even people like Peter Obi, they've always told you that is the place where the corruption is lying. If Tinubu really wants to save money and to help Nigeria in terms of building infrastructure, just reducing the cost of governance is going to go a long way. And then corruption, like Peter Obi said, if you are not stealing, the people around you are not stealing, guess what? You will reduce corruption by 70%, because it's only when you are stealing and the people around you are stealing, then it gives room for the other people to also say, okay, if Oga is stealing and his brother, his people are stealing, why not me? And then people, they will just like, get loose on public funds. But if you really want to help Nigeria to progress, Baba Tinubu, the first thing you are going to do is reduce the cost of governance and fight corruption. Recover all the looted money. Why are you not going after people like Buhari and the rest of them? Why are you not telling them to bring all the funds that were taken during the last administration? Why are you not trying to recover some of all these loots? Why are you not reducing your cost of governance, and why are you not fighting corruption? Stop the loopholes. You just want to collect taxes from people. At the end of the day, now we hear that he has bought another yacht, or he has bought another jet, or he has done this. People will just be wasting the money. We have a system that cannot manage this tax effectively. Should this tax be collected? Because it's not a matter of collecting. How can you be collecting this kind of tax without fighting corruption, trying to make sure that people don't have systems that allow them to get away with all kinds of fraud in terms of siphoning the money that is meant for the public? So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Like we all say that we need leaders who are patriotic about the country. They are not there for their own selfish interests, but they are there to serve the interests of Nigerians. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.